will be buying, selling. And Jesus is talking about the rapture here. He describes the.
So the passage he's using is found in the Olivet Discourse in Matthew's account, chapter 24, verses 35 through 43. Jesus says, "Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. And of that day, no man knows the day or the hour." Mark 13, 31, 32 also says the same thing. Then Jesus continues and he says that it will be as the days of Noah. The days of Lot are found in Luke 17. But Jesus here is saying that at this time, when the earth is destroyed, one will be taken, another one left, and that he comes as a thief in the night. When the earth is destroyed and the heavens are passing away, is that talking about the rapture here? No, it is not, Jimmy Evans. Please, why do you tell us a blatant lie like that? This is talking about the end of the world, when the earth is destroyed. Okay, let's continue and listen to what you have to say.
The rapture vividly there. Okay. It will be like the day before the flood, before the judgment on Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. He specifically says, like the day that Lot went out, it'll be like that day. Not the day that the judgment started, not at the end of the judgment, when Noah got off the boat. He could have said that. Or when Lot, got out and the judgment came. It's before. It's crystal clear in there. It's before. What's going to happen is before. Then he describes rapture. Okay. Buying, selling, marrying, giving in marriage, planting, building. Okay. At the end of the tribulation, are those things happening? Well, it's crazy, T. I mean, if you've read the book of Revelation, you understand the earth has been, it's just a smoldering ruin.
Babylon is a smoldering ruin, but the earth is not a smoldering ruin. The merchants and the ships look from afar off and watch the smoldering ruin. Are the merchants and the ships in the smoldering ruin? No, they're not. They're watching it from afar off. Now, the reason that you say, oh, the earth is a smoldering ruin is because you really didn't bother studying out the book of Revelation. Because at the seventh trumpet, it shows finality. Everything about the aspects of the seventh trumpet shows finality. In fact, it shows that the earth is destroyed. Jesus destroys those who destroy the earth. Time is no more. Revelation 10, 4 through 6, it tells us, time is no more and the mysteries of God are finished at the seventh trumpet, the sounding of the seventh trumpet. So, the other aspects, Jesus rules and reigns forevermore. If Jesus is ruling and reigning forevermore, the old is passed away, and the new is the 1,000-year reign has been commenced. Jesus rewards everyone according to their works. You don't reward somebody if there's still, a 7-year period or some time afterwards that isn't done. No, the reward is happening at this point in time. Jesus destroys those who destroyed the earth. The earth is destroyed. So, Jesus declares that he comes when the earth is destroyed. Jesus said, Matthew 16:27, that he rewards everyone when he comes. He rewards when the earth is destroyed. Okay? So, let's dig a little deeper, because what you're going to say is, oh, well, the bowl judgments show a complete destruction of the earth, whereas the trumpet judgments only show a third of the destruction of the earth. No, that's not true. John ate the book in chapter 10 for the purpose of prophesying again. The end of the bowls, the trumpets, is the end of the earth. So when John starts up after chapter 11 with chapter 12, he is prophesying again. The chapter 12 is talking about the early church. It starts with the Star of Bethlehem, the signs in the heaven. If you watch the documentary about Larson, this is exactly what the wise men saw with the star. And so, anyways, does a really good job giving that documentary out. You can watch it on YouTube. It's a really poor recording, or you can buy the documentary on Amazon or eBay. What we got going on is Revelation 12 is the beginning of this new prophecy. The bowls are a repeat of the 7 trumpets. So what we got going on? We have the same happening in the bowl as we have in the trumpets. The trumpet declares 1/3. The bowl doesn't say 1/3. It says that the waters, this will happen to the waters. And then it says all the fish die. All the fish die in those waters that are affected. It doesn't say all of the fish in all the seas. It's talking about the water that in which has this occur. And so you look at it and say, oh no, it's all the water. No, it's not what it's saying. It's a repeat prophecy. It's a dual prophecy. You put them together, you see, oh, well, they're talking about the river Euphrates in one, and you're talking about the river Euphrates in the other. It's a parallel prophecy. Jesus declares that he's still coming like a thief in Revelation 16:15, which is right before the 7th bowl. So we have Jesus coming like a thief in the night, right before the 7th bowl, and in the 7th trumpet is when he comes. So we have like 10 verses that all give the same witness that Jesus comes when the earth is destroyed, which is the 7th trumpet. Okay? So Mr. Jimmy Evans, the earth is not a smoldering ruin. Babylon is a smoldering ruin. Yes, a large portion of the earth can be considered a smoldering ruin, but not all of it. In fact, we don't even know that half of it is. We do know that 1/3 of it is. And so when you're saying, hey, look, marrying and giving into marriage or planting seeds or building cannot occur, well, that is your opinion, not based on fact. And so you build your argument. Here's how you build your argument. You ignore what Jesus said, that he comes when the earth is destroyed, and then you take the concept of man that says, oh, well, there's an idea that he comes prior, and then you look for reasonings to support that idea. Instead of what you're doing is you're saying, well, this is what Jesus said, and therefore this must be true. And that's what I'm doing. Jesus said that he comes as a thief in the night when the earth is destroyed. Not some bogus rapture that man tells you, and then you believe that instead of Christ. So you must believe Jesus to be saved. Right after Jesus said this, he gives the parable of the virgins. 5 are foolish, 5 are wise. The foolish are indeed watching for the coming of the bridegroom. What was their sin? In the end, they're told, I know you not, and the door is shut to them. Why would Jesus tell them that? Well, you must believe Jesus to be saved. They simply didn't believe Jesus. Why is that? Well, they didn't bother taking a vessel of oil to refuel their lamps. Most say, oh, well, their lamps, they never brought oil in their lamps. Well, that's not true, because the passage tells us that their lamps were going out after a period of time of long waiting. And so then they turned to the wise one and said, give us oil that you have, because they brought their gas cans to refuel. And the wise said, no, we have no idea how long this is going to last. We're probably going to need our oil to continue. Go buy some. So the foolish virgins did not bring oil in a vessel in which to refuel their lamps. It's like not bringing extra batteries for your flashlight. You don't bring extra batteries for your flashlight if you're walking around the house at night to see what the dog's barking at. Why is that? Well, because the situation is imminent. However, if you fail to bring extra batteries along on an extended camping trip, that would indeed be foolish. The foolish virgins simply did not believe Jesus. Instead, they believed man, and that there's a rapture that's imminent. That's what's going on here. What you're doing is you're taking man's concept, and then you're looking for arguments, and that's exactly what this is. This argument, Jimmy Evans, is an argument that says man's idea has validity. Instead of what you're doing is you're not saying what Jesus said is true, and therefore this is how we must look at Scripture and rightly divide Scripture according to what Jesus said. See, Jesus is God. He knew what he was talking about. And if you're not going to believe Jesus, well, then you're not saved. As simple as that. All right. Hope this was helpful. Take care.